just yet. Ah, there we go.
Right. Yeah,
Now we're
good.
ready to roll.
All right. So, Joey Calvin here with Southland Realty Group. I am here with Daren Debel. Is that the correct
That
way to
is,
say
you're
it?
one of the few that pronounced it correctly. Congrats. I
Awesome.
love it.
Awesome. And Daren is in New York City, which is one of my favorite places to travel. We've been there a few times. And so, Daren, we'll talk a little bit about your family. We'll talk a little bit about what you enjoy doing. We'll talk a little real estate and then upcoming goals professionally and personally. So start with family. Tell me about what's going on.
Great. So, father of two. I've been married for, well, I got married in 2009. So I'm already
We can
going
edit that
on
part.
16 years of being married, almost 17. I guess that's why I kind of forget the exact number. But I've now two kids. I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. Um, they're just the joy of my life. This is what it's all about. I mean, having the two little ones, and I got my four-legged puppy as well. So really have the perfect match. It's like every kid should have a dog, every dog should have a kid, and it's the best. So we've
Good.
got I got the boy, got the girl, got everything I need.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Hmm.
awesome. So 7 and 2,
Seven and 12 and seven.
12 and 7. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I have 5 kids. So 8, 10, 14, 18, and 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amen.
So we're uh,
A
we're
full
very
house.
blessed, and we have a lot of motivation to work hard. Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought I
So,
had a lot of motivation by having just a 12-year-old daughter, and sure, that's nothing compared to five.
once you have a couple, and once you have the third, they all kind of just. It's like if you have three, five is not much different. So, um, so what do you guys enjoy doing?
So, I mean, I love traveling, love sports. My kids have been very active lately. They're both playing flag football for a number of years. My son is actually now on 3 teams. It's kind of nice. He's the big kid for the grade, and it doesn't always happen that way, but he's like a head taller than the majority of the kids. So I'm like finally getting him to. I mean, he's always played some basketball and a little bit of flag, and he was like, for a few years. It's like the third year he's playing it, and it was funny because he's always like, it was, you're young, you're just unsure, you're timid. He was always running scared a little bit. I, um, he was running timid. He was a little scared, never like confident. And I'm like, Charlie, that was his name. I'm like, you are so much bigger than them. You're stronger, you're faster, you're bigger. Run at them, run through them. You're like Derrick Henry. And he goes, okay, Dad, I got this. The next time he touched the ball, he ran at the full field for a touchdown. I'm like, and I'm like, that's what you. And since then, he's like the star of the team,
Yeah, that's
because
good.
he figured out being the big kid in football, they're more scared of him than he is of them, and just run.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome. That's great.
So it's been
Uh,
great watching him really evolve as becoming an athlete. And, again, I looked at it differently, I guess, with my daughter, just, where I was, it's, she loves sports, but not really the athlete. And it's like, I mean, she's an athlete, but not like how he's taking it on.
sure.
So it's like really fun to watch and see an athlete develop.
That's good. That's good. Yeah,
Hmm.
so we're all short, fairly short. I'm 5'7". My my oldest son is 14, and he's always the shorter guy on the court. But basketball is his best sport, and it was mine as well. And I have had to coach him through like you're gonna probably get a shot blocked if you drive the lane, but if you drive the lane, being that you're the smaller guy, you're probably going to get fouled. So what you
Yep.
need to work on at practice is uh, driving the lane and making sure you can get you can score even with contact, and you're not afraid of anybody, and then get really good at shooting free throws. And that has been a game changer for him, and it's cool to see him kind of coaching other players on his team. Like, hey, if you'll do this, you'll score more points. You know, don't worry about that. It's embarrassed. You might get embarrassed and you might get a shot block. Just go in there and do it. And it works. So
No, it really is an amazing thing when you see like the dots connect and you just give them that little bit of advice and like, when they understand what it is, like again, similar with my son in football, like if I'd said it to him a year earlier, he wouldn't have processed it the same way.
like,
And you do it at the right time, and all of a sudden it's like that dot connects and it's like you see it happen and unfold in real time and like, oh my God, it worked.
yeah, that's right. That's awesome. That's great.
I
So
love hearing that about your
um,
son. That's awesome.
so we're in this very similar spot in life where a lot of our activities revolve around kids sports and their stuff. So
But it's kind of like anything else. I mean, you look whether it was our kids or us, and again, you're probably similar to me in that respect. Is it's how we talk. It's just it's part of our life. It's what we watch. It's what we have conversations around it.
yeah,
That's been such an active part of my lead generation is networking with my son's friends and the parents and the community. Like I fully transitioned my business 2 years ago. I mean, being a team leader in a market center, being a sales manager, not in production and just running an office versus being in production and having to be known for doing real estate.
yeah,
It's a completely different world. And, I kind of feel like, with my daughter, being older, have established those relationships, it's different. Like they know me of who I am and what I used to be doing, where it's now like my son's friends, as I'm starting these relationships, they don't know me from Adam.
yeah,
And now all of a sudden they're, what do you do? What this and that? And I'm like, four of my clients and possible investors and people I'm working with are now coming out of that group of people.
yeah.
And it's something that just never would have, come up previously. It's just,
Right.
great seeing it unfold.
That's great. That's good. Well, tell me a little bit about your business as we transition into that. What's it been like moving from the role of a team leader and supporting agents to primarily focusing on uh, getting referrals and taking care of clients?
So it's been pretty smooth because of the functionality of the team. Like I basically came in as leadership. Like I am not, boots on the ground day to day because our team covers too much territory. We're too big of a region. With Barry, relocating himself, he needed someone to be air traffic controller here in the office. So I was able to kind of keep a leadership role, but I know, like, I'm still going to have to get out in the streets. I'm going to go do the listing appointment. I'm going to be out doing buyer consultations. I'm a backup person for all of my team members, literally from Montauk all the way to Manhattan. Of if you can't be there, how do I show up? I mean, I'm going to, make references to locations, and it was maybe 25, 30 miles apart, but it takes 3.5 hours to get there. Like I was door knocking in like basically borderline Queens, Brooklyn in the morning of one day to go and show our listing and do an inspection on a house literally 35 miles away in the other part of Suffolk. But we had people that couldn't do it, and all right, well, I've got a few Zoom meetings, I got a few this, so I'll be in my mobile office and let's go. But I'm going to teach someone how to lead generate. I'm going to teach someone how to open up the door, and let's all figure it out together. So I've been able to be like a very hands-on leader, which is actually what I love doing most.
That's great. Great.
Whether I'm making phone calls, like I built my business on cold calling when I was an agent, when I was doing recruiting. I love just picking up the phone. I don't care who I'm calling.
Yeah,
So I was able to kind of utilize the same skill sets that I've cultivated all these years and just now have a focused plan. And I love being in this role more than ever being in leadership,
yeah,
like true
that's
like
great.
market center leadership, you know.
Right, right. Yeah, that's good. I love. Yeah, I'm on the ALC here at my office, and I enjoy helping other agents. Even like I have a small team. There are four of us, and even outside of my team, I enjoy supporting other agents in our office about as much as I enjoy uh, helping my clients. And it's just you know teaching someone a strategy and helping them implement something that makes their job easier and helps them to become more successful. Uh, that that's fun to watch, fun to
It
be a
is.
part of. So that's good.
Which is why it's truly we have that same joy watching our kids with sports because it really
Yeah.
is that same gratification. I
Yep.
look at my agents as like their kids. I mean, they're no different.
Yep.
They
That's
listen to
right.
me the same. They don't,
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right.
They're
So
just as non-compliant. They don't listen.
100%. 100%. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's good. We actually just took on a new uh, team member this year, and she's hitting the ground running, and she's excited about the processes that we implement, and it's going to be a good. I think it's going to be a good move
Nice.
for her and the entire team. So we're excited for that. What about goals for the year, personally and professionally? What's coming up?
So for the team of what we are looking for, what we're aspiring to this year, last year we did hit our best year as a team. We did 100 million in volume, a little over 200 transactions, and closed out a shade under 2.1 in GCI.
Okay,
And our goal this year is basically to double it.
awesome.
We're hoping to be at 4 million in GCI by the year end. We are tracking 1 million for Q1, so we know we are right on pace for that. Um, so we're, really building out in a few different divisions all at the same time, really enhancing luxury as, I know every area has a different level of luxury, but, here on Long Island, going through the city, wherever we are, coming across 3 to 5 million, 6 million, $7 million properties are not a rarity. And you do just as much work to close that one as you do the 300,000.
That's right.
So we have made a really big push, kind of in two ranges this year, which has been, or I know this year, but kind of like Q4 ended last year going into this year, um, of getting in luxury where we have a 5.5 million in contract right now. We're closing on a 3,750 next week. We closed on a 4.9 earlier this month. We're about to bring on a 6. We're negotiating and under contract with a few that are like 3 and 4 million and 2.5. So all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we're building out on that front. Thank God, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we've also been doing a lot of work with builders and flippers, finding prime opportunities so that, we're selling right now we have one that it's unbelievable, our market, a 2 bedroom, 900 square foot house on a 6,000 square foot lot. We went under contract at 765,
Oh well.
for the house to be knocked down, where the
Okay.
buyer is going to be building 1.6, 1.7 on the lot.
Sure. Sure.
So we
Yeah.
have that one that's going to be closing next month. We have two now that are going to be going under contract that were like 500, $600,000. That'll be $900,000 when they're ready to get back on. So, we're starting with some of those projects that will at least, how do we turn one into three?
Yeah. That's great. Now, when you're doing the work with the home builders, are those spec homes? They're starting from scratch and building a spec home for you to sell, or are you listing it as proposed construction and getting a contract for them first?
No, they're going to be basically fix and flips. I mean, like the one that I was just mentioning at 765, that one is probably going to be a knockdown rebuild.
Okay.
But the other ones, they're keeping the bones. They're just, put lipstick on a pig and get it back on the market.
Yeah, I got you. The reason I ask, I do a lot of proposed construction. I
Okay.
work with 4 different home builders, and we'll take vacant lots and list them as proposed construction,
Hmm.
and we'll get a pre-sale contract for the builder, and then he builds it, and there's much lower risk uh, in that strategy, and the landowner wins because they get to sell the lot without even paying commission.
Right.
You're listing it for them, but you're listing it as a finished house, proposed finished house.
Yeah.
And so they just show up to closing, pick up their check. They don't have to pay anything. And it's
No.
been a very good, very well received idea. And I don't, some areas of the country, I talk with people about doing that, and they're like, that would never work in my area. Uh, a lot of places don't have vacant land because
That's
it's all, yeah. So
that's
that,
like the thought that I had, but I'm like, I don't conceptually, yeah. I mean, but it's also people don't realize that there is vacant lots of land. Because actually, I mean, as you're saying that, of course, the first thought that goes through my head, exactly that. We don't have vacant land. Like it doesn't really exist. It's so scarce here. As soon as the sentence, stopped in my head, I'm like, wait a second. We're also working we were trying to work with the seller. We got introduced a few weeks ago, and she was like, "Oh, I'm just going to do it myself." She has in this, not the best area of Queens. She has a landlocked parcel of land. I don't know how this area got sectioned off. It's got two main streets this way with houses on each side. Over here with the two main streets here backing up to each other. And somehow, in between all of these homes, there's a thin strip of land that is a complete separate block lot section. Her lot is one of the bigger ones. There are 15 homes when you count both sides going up and down that are connecting to her home. There's 15 homes that are attached to it, and there is no accessibility. There's no easement or anything to get into her lot.
hmm,
But that exact scenario, you can sell it pre-designed. All you need is one of the 15 people to say, you know what? Pay me 20 grand and I'll give you access.
right, right,
If you have
yeah,
15 options, I'd like to think one person's going to be desperate enough to either give it to you or say, you know what? Just buy my home. It's dilapidated anyway. Get me out. And now you can create an L.
right, yeah. So if you did something like that, you could actually uh, list the home as proposed construction and put in the cost of uh, what that easement might cost for you to get from them. Just roll it into the cost of building the house, and just say, we're going to market it like this. We're going to go ahead and get you to sign that you will do this once we get it under contract, but we're not paying for it until we have it under contract. So
And you can even possibly roll it over to the buyer, saying the buyer will be paying for it once they get the contract. And that's
that's
going to be the as is condition so that the seller doesn't have to worry about this stuff.
100%. Yeah. So
So,
yeah, that's good.
this is all the ways that we think together and create opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually drive through neighborhoods when I'm doing showings. And if I see a vacant lot, I'll write down the address on either side of it, come back to my office and look it up in tax records and see who owns it. And I'll reach out to them and present this idea. Most of the time, they've forgotten that they had it beside until it's time to pay taxes on
Yeah,
it. And
exactly.
they're eager to talk with me, and I'll always offer, we can list this as exclusive right to sell with an owner reserve. So if you want, you can continue to, if you're trying to sell it for sale by owner, keep doing that. And if you sell it that, on your own, let me know. I'll take my listing down. But if I get a proposed construction contract on it, you're still getting the same money and you're getting me marketing it for free. So it works. It works.
Yeah, it's like who's to say no to that? I mean, that was more or less my approach when I was calling FISBOs was let's partner. Let me be where you're not.
Yeah.
You're only here. You find the buyer first. I don't need to be paid. I
Yeah.
find the buyer, compensate me the way you pay a buyer.
That's
You
right.
know, and once all FISBOs, and this is my experience at least, all FISBOs, once they give up that first bit of control, wait it out 30 days, and they're just, you know what, just take it all. I don't even need to be there. Just take the listing.
Yeah. That's right. That's
It was
right.
getting them to
Yeah.
sign that first document is all you needed, and then starts the avalanche.
Yeah. You're providing. They see that you're providing value for them, and they get tired of trying to be a realtor and
Yep,
answering all those calls, and
exactly.
they realize it's worth having you to do it all. So that's
Yep.
good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, I too am trying to double my business this year, so I'm working toward tripling it so that if I fail, I'll double it.
Exactly.
And so I get in trouble sometimes for working too much. But again, I have five kids. One of them's in college, one's about to start college, and
Roll Tide.
yeah, well, that's what we live close enough, but the first one's at UAB, which is a part of Alabama. I don't know where the other one's going yet. So,
Nice.
but yeah, we are Roll Tide people for sure. So
I mean, how could you not be?
that's right. Yeah, some people are, you got a small group that that's out. That I think they're Auburn because they went to Auburn. But we don't have pro teams here, so
Right.
there's no New York Giants or Yankees. The closest pro team is the Atlanta Braves,
Yep.
and so you literally come here and you're either Alabama or Auburn, pretty much.
Exactly. That's it. And you don't if you're Auburn, you kind of want to run the other way.
That's right. At
Just
least the last few years, anyway.
kidding.
So,
They haven't had anything since Cam Newton.
yeah,
Um,
that's right. They're a basketball school.
it-
So, but but anyway, well, hey, it's been great talking with you,
like, are you gonna
and
you're going to be in Atlanta, so I know I'll get to see you in
I
person.
will be in
Uh,
Atlanta. We're actually hosting a Nacho Average happy hour.
that was you. Okay, good. I'm going to be
Yep,
signing up for that. I was like still like just
yep,
booked everything for family reunion, so I saved that separately. And I'm
yeah,
going to be booking that. I was just trying to get my whole schedule together of what's going on. So good. I'm
yeah,
really happy to hear you're part of that.
yeah. That's good. It was actually so I'm in a networking group with Referco, which is the author of Seven Levels of Communication,
Oh,
Michael J. Mayer. And Referco is very similar to like a KW Maps coaching. But the cool thing is, you can get into it for only $99 a month. So I've been involved. I've been involved in that for almost a year and a half, uh, and everything that they teach is all built around hosting events throughout the year. And so this will be my first all realtor event. All of my other events are local, and they are community focused and client focused and vendor focused and that type stuff. But so I presented the idea on Bang. Anybody want to help me host this? I got a couple of people who reached out and said they were interested, and it's going to be uh, like a nacho bar and margarita bar, and should be lots of fun. So
well, you certainly speak my language, so I can't wait to see you there.
yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to shut this down, and we'll talk afterwards.
Absolutely, Joey. Such a